Hello, it's almost midnight, but it's almost midnight on a school night. But I thought I would fucking finally watch the next Magnus Archives episodes because I wanted to all weekend, but I've been busy and I'm awful and lazy and I don't know how to do anything. So I'm gonna watch the new episodes. They're not new, but they're new to me. I wanna watch that. I can't get over the fact that apparently that show ended that I was saying that show ended this year, and I'm like, no, it's this show ended that year. As in, I got confused. It's last year technically, even though it doesn't feel like it's. I'm talking about last year, 2021, even though it's 2022, but like it feels like it's 2021. It still feels like this year, you know. I still can get over the fact that the show ended within the last year. That's a good way to phrase it. I still can't get over that because it ended like recently in my life and I had no idea. I'm freaking out about it. So yeah, I have a smoothie. I'm on episode 91, which is like has like an ominous ass title. Last time there was bodybuilder gym episode. Gerard, not Gerard. That's the key guy. That's the key book guy. Emo man. No, Jared, the the bone man. I'm sorry. I shouldn't. I shouldn't. I have a horrible sense of humor. My sense of humor is absolutely broken for no reason. We had the cool buff Asian woman episode. I just remember the description as a buff Asian woman. I'm like, yes, short king. It's me, short buff Asian lady. I got it. I'm that lady. I'm that lady. I'm her. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. The Coming Storm. What a title. Oh, fuck! I forgot! Fucking, she told us we're gonna Michael fucking Vast, whatever his name is, Michael Lightning Scar Vast Man. Take me. He jumps out the fucking clock tower. We're talking to that guy who we've been hearing about since like fucking episode 10 or something. I fucking forgot that we were talking to that guy. I said the episode description. I now remember. Okay, it's great. Okay. It's Magnus Archives is one of my shows that's beloved. Hey, it actually, fuck, I actually clicked the fucking ad. It actually stayed in the right order. Usually, it usually says oldest to whatever's. Like it says oldest to newest, but it's like still playing still like in the wrong order, and I'm like, why Spotify? Why Spotify? Why do these look so weird? All the episodes look like the unplayed. It looks like it has the entire episode list. That's bothering me. I'm gonna mark them as played. Duke. Coming Storm. Michael Crew, that's his name. He's got a crew. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm insane. Okay. You know, I told you about how I'm going on the Reddit and looking at old posts using like Reddit search to like see people's reactions to these episodes as they came out in real time. It's been really great. I love that. I wish I could do that on Tumblr, and I wish I could find a better way to do that on Twitter too. See people's discussions. But like, I've just realized why because by coincidence because people have been calling people like red stringers or something. I'm not like a red someone's like, I'm not like a red string person. And I'm like, what? I like, people have just been using that term, and I just I thought it was just like a weird little fandom term that they came up with, having to do with something that I didn't realize what they were talking about. But then I realized by coincidence, because another freaking comment was talking about how the writers probably have a red string picture corkboard in the like apartment. Oh, I was like, oh, the red string people are like the conspiracy theorists and the people trying to connect everything in the show, and they called them. I can't. It's just so funny to see like old things, old, like, it's people. I don't know if people still call themselves like red stringers like today, but like people were just calling them that like casually, like that's like what they called themselves. That's so cool. Cause like I love looking at history, and I love history, but I love looking at the history of the things I care about. Sorry, America, I don't care. okay, no, you know, sorry, the world, but you're not as interesting to me as the Magnus Archives fandom history. I mean, just being honest. But it's just so cool to see like how this fandom like developed, and how those like people called themselves something when they were still like trying to piece everything together. And as information was coming out, someone also said they would be feeling left behind by how often they have to they aren't able to connect the dots about because of how many episodes there are, and how many obscure things are being referenced to connected back to. And I'm like the reaction to that is, why can't casual but focused listeners keep track of the show? And my reaction to that is, finally, because I've been doing that the entire time. I've been looking at the wiki, I've been rereading it every time I finish an episode. And like, this is what I'm here for, you know. I'm here for this. This is absolute confusion as Jonathan Thims drops a name that I can't recall. Why does it look like... Okay, weird. What am I looking at? Oh my god. What am I looking at? I was looking at something. No, I wanted to look at my Oh. Oh yeah! By the way, okay, the stream is working. It's been 8 minutes. I've spent 8 minutes talking. Disgusting. I just looked at my channel, and I have 200 subscribers somehow. It's probably from that stupid Mine Song video. But like, I see in my stats, like, someone's watching these videos. I don't know who, but I guess some of them get like 8 views, and like a bunch of them has like 1 like, and I'm like, who's that? Because I know I'm not liking my video. Like, I can't tell if like the views I have are based on me watching my own videos just passively in the background. But I can tell that whoever's liking these videos is not me. So whoever you are, thank you for watching. But also, I'd love it if you commented. I love interaction. Interact with me. It'd be great. But yeah, thank you for watching. Whoever is subscribing to me for no reason, thanks. But yeah, I'm gonna play that episode now before I fucking have to fall asleep. I feel like I'm kinda awake. Let me watch this. Michael Crow. Don't die, Jonathan Sims. Jonathan Sims.
Voice of Tim Stoker from the Magnus
Hi,
Archives,
voice of
and
Tim
head
Stoker
video
for the
Rusty
Magnus
Quill.
Archives.
And I'm here to let you know about one of the newest additions to Archive Network, The Town Whispers. The Town Whispers is a narrative horror podcast.
Lena Petrutis, Alexander Kroshka, Jameson Senger, Ian Barrett, Johnny.
Yes, give me that spooky music. I want to be doing something while I do this. I always try to want to
Rusty
do
Quill
something.
presents
Try to want to be doing
the
something.
Magnus
Okay, I always want to
Archives.
try to do something. Because I would like being productive, and I'm awful at it.
Episode 91. The Coming Storm.
So this guy's, I guess it might be a pun because he's like a Storm guy. He's Michael Crew with a lightning on his back. I don't know why I'm so like laughy. I'm apparently like a comedian today. I'm freaking out, I guess. I needed this. I've been having a bad day.
You sure I can't get you a cup of tea?
It's fine, really.
Okay. You just seem a bit jumpy as all.
Oh, I just,
This guy
coming
seems
in, I thought
nice.
it's fine.
Grand. Okay, what can I do for you?
You're Michael Crew, right?
It's Mike, please.
Right.
Polite. I didn't expect this.
I'm from the Magnus
Jude
Institute.
mid.
Oh, you said.
Jude. This is her name, Jude.
I read you feature in
Yeah.
some of our statements.
Oh? Statements of what?
There was a book, two of them at least. Excelsiora, the Bone Turner's Tale. I think you threw a guy off a skyscraper in Paris.
Last chance for that cup of tea.
I think you. This show is so funny. Didn't he just get struck by lightning? That's what his friend said. But maybe
I
he's.
was trying so hard to be polite. Hard, isn't it?
I'm sorry. I have to pause for that. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, he was trying. He was being very nice. Okay, let's just keep going.
Trying to ask prying questions at terminal velocity. The air, it doesn't leave your lungs like you expect it to. I mean, I know you're still sat down. You know you're still sat down. But whether your body knows it when I decide you hit the ground, that's something I haven't made my mind up about yet. A little bit of privacy. Is that really so much to ask?
I mean, I don't
Suppose
know.
it is, isn't it?
If you threw a guy off a
Yours,
skyscraper.
at least. We have a lot in common, really. Maria.
He said something like that, probably. I think.
A little bit of privacy.
Something
Is that
jokey.
really so much to ask? Suppose it is, isn't it? From you and yours, at least.
From you and your. Yeah, he was like
We
a
have a lot in
fucking eye
common,
joke.
really. And after all, what good's the height, the terrifying draw of gravity, unless you really know the scale of what you're facing? Hey, maybe I'll let you live. I need to drag yourself back down to your den, but you need to learn some respect. My scar, wasn't it? Always the scar. It's ironic in some ways, because it was one of the few marks that was only really ever physical. Got it when I was struck by lightning, age of 8. Playing outside with a friend of mine, and the
Yeah,
storm
we heard
came
this.
on quickly.
And that
really
kid
what I was
blamed himself for whatever.
Have you ever been struck by lightning?
I don't think
No.
so.
Of course not. Not unless that's what happened to your hand, but I'm guessing that burn came from sticking it somewhere it wasn't wanted.
And he just came here after for just cause.
Imagine a white-hot, stinging pain. Your whole body becoming rigid. Like, for an eternal moment, you're frozen.
This is so cool. What just
Trapped in a
happened?
statue of yourself.
Okay.
With 1,000 needles of agony just erupting through you from the inside out. I don't know if it's the most painful thing that can happen to the human body, but
I heard that was
beyond a certain
childbirth.
point, trying to
I don't know if you
quantify
know.
and measure pain, it becomes pointless. That point is being struck by lightning. The part that always bothered me was how I didn't remember it. Not really. The sensation's still vivid enough, but it exists in my mind completely detached from any actual memory. I remember the feeling, but not the event. One moment I'm playing amid raindrops the size of blueberries, and the next I'm in a white hospital bed. That acrid smell still surrounding me, and lines of agony just carved through my skin. The doctors told me there would be no long-term damage from my accident. They were wrong, of course, but the damage wasn't something they could see. So how were they to know? Sitting alone in my room, tracing the lines of electricity with my finger, mentioning my pain travelling these branching pathways. I was obsessed with it. Every time my finger reached the end of the line, I felt a jolt of fear, because I knew they went further, they went deeper than would show on my skin. By age 10, I was reading everything I could on what happened to me. The electricity, Lichtenberg's experiments.
I guess it would be a
meteorology.
good way
My
to
parents thought
get
it was
into something like
simply
this.
my way of recovering, of processing my trauma. But there was something else there. I know that now. Did you know that Lichtenberg figures are fractals?
Oh,
I didn't. Not back then.
there's no, you didn't have to fractal us. Not the fractals.
Sometimes I think that my fingertips could feel it. When I was 12, curled under my bed to escape the pounding of the rain against my window, the roll of thunder that just rattled my skull, I began to travel them once again. My hands ran down and along those jagged, discoloured lines, every branch, every turn. My nostrils full of ozone, my veins full of fear. They didn't stop. I knew where my scars ended, but those I traced in the dark that night, they just went on and on and on, far beyond me, and to somewhere that still flashed with that unspeakable white light. That was the night everything changed. Before it, I was odd, certainly, probably traumatized and gripped with a terror of storms, but after that night, things were different. I think, looking back, that was when I called it. That was when it caught my scent. It delighted in toying with my perceptions, making me believe a storm was approaching, forcing me to run for shelter or desperately hunt for cover without warning. In the dark, it would stand beneath my bedroom window, the light flaring, flashing the awful brightness.
I'm still thinking about how this statement started. Okay.
Never looked directly at it. The bright, arcing glow of its insides almost blinded me when I tried. It was almost a man. I could never be sure. Its
The weird
strobing,
figure, the weird
flashing
lightning
Lichtenberg
figure.
organs changed and flickered too fast. It
There's a wacky lightning man in front of me.
never hurt me. Not once in all the years I was chased by its
Oh, there it is.
malevolence.
Sorry.
Of course, I know why that is now, but at the time it did nothing to dull my fear. I remember when it found out where I lived. I had dreamed that night of shifting, branching avenues of light. I travelled them so fast I could feel my flesh peeling away, leaving nothing but the coursing, buzzing pain within me as I ran down these hideous corridors, aching for an end I knew simply wasn't there. I woke up screaming into the darkness. Walking to the window, I looked out over the tiny garden below. I was 16 at the time. The house I lived in had a small patch of green behind it, just fighting against the pressing grey of the city, the dull glow of the light pollution overhead. But where the back wall should have been, there was a small wooden gate. I didn't feel the cold as I opened the back door and walked out towards it. My tormentor was nowhere to be seen. But the blackened edges of the gate showed clearly as it passed by. Was I afraid? It's hard to remember now, but I have to assume that I was. I mean, I must have been as I pushed those ancient hinges back to reveal this darkened forest. How could I not have been? It stretched away forever, I think, or as close to forever as the human mind can contain. The trees were long and
I like this
spindly,
concept.
their branches bare and reaching as they grew down towards me out of the sky, their roots pulsing upwards into this roiling mass of clouds, the scorched and shattered chunks reeking of ozone. I found the Journal of a Plague Year when I was 17. I was lucky, I suppose, that it wasn't anything worse. It infected the house, of course, brought it crashing down upon my parents in a collapse of diseased brick and septic foundations. But I
Well,
escaped. And more than that,
No
my eyes
family
were
members
open to
saved.
powers that might save me, might protect me from a past that followed me so brightly I could barely see it. But I knew that filth was not for me. Buzzing flies and rot disgusted me, but they never spoke to my soul. I threw the book into a sewer and began my hunt. The Bone Turner's Tale was next, found tucked away in a waterlogged library basement and deposited back in another. I played with it, but when I tried to shift the bits of myself I thought might set me free, the only shapes I could form with them were laced with that horrid hunting fractal. My experiments weren't entirely pointless, though. They did have a truth to me. I learned that I was more than capable of killing, if it brought me closer to what I needed.
Wow.
I spent some time with a small grey volume.
That's great.
Cyrillic, that decided it was at home amongst my bookshelves. I couldn't read it, of course, but when it tried to read me back, I buried it on a lonely stretch of moorland.
Oh, wait, what?
Spent some time with a small grey volume. I think it was in Cyrillic, that decided it was at home amongst my bookshelves. I couldn't read it, of course, but when it tried to read me back,
Is it
I buried it on a lonely stretch of moorland.
Altua or something?
Finally, I found what I was searching for. In the back of a Chichester bookshop, I found my release. Ex Altiora,
This one.
from the Heights. The owner didn't want to part with it, a nasty, grubby little man who stank of sweat and self.
What was that one book he talked about, though? I don't know.
And at last I had
Something
what
that
I
tried to
needed.
read him. I don't know what that means.
The thing that chased me, you see, it was an arcing branch of the twisting deceit, taken shape to follow me.
Huh?
The shape it had taken some self-importance, but I got it. And at last I had what I needed.
The what?
The thing that chased me, you see, it was an arcing branch of the
An
twisting
arcing
deceit,
branch of the twisting
taken
deceit.
shape to follow me. But the shape it had taken more rightly belonged to the sky, to those same vast unknowable heights that blessed book wanted to take me. Falling had always held a special place in my heart, that wonderful ball of
Simon
terror
Fairchild?
and delight. When my parents would take me to the fair, I always found my way to the highest ride, the one that would just send me plummeting. It wasn't simply the rush of adrenaline, but something deeper, something that just gripped my soul with this ecstatic horror. And I knew that within that book was something that could not only release me from my pursuer, but chain my being to that rush of wind and vertigo forever. I don't remember that night in detail. The two most important events in my life, and I have clear memories of neither. I know that it was the first storm, the first real storm I had seen for almost 10 years, but nothing else remains in my mind. There are echoes of resignation, I think almost desperation. That can't be right, though. What reason would I have had not to jump, not to become as I am now? There are echoes of resignation, I think almost desperation.
It's the stuff that he doesn't remember.
That can't be right, though. What reason would I have had not to jump, not to become as I am now? Perhaps I just didn't know the true joy of vertigo. Doesn't matter. In the end, I threw myself into the arms of that vast emptiness, and I bound my tormentor to the book.
Oh,
That's,
the weird lightning man.
that's all, I think.
And
Since
then that's the
I've
thing the other person saw.
embraced my new life, gladly fed that which feeds me.
You're another one of the people who serve.
Skyscraper? Was it? You said? Honestly, I can't say I recall it in detail, but that sounds about right. Sometimes it's hard to keep track.
Man, either you feed it or it eats you or something. It feeds on you. That's what Jude said.
That was nice.
I mean, therapeutic, ain't it?
Usually the sort for speeches. That was pleasant change. So, off you go then. Archivist, take my mercy and leave. You have touched something few ever walk away. I thought you said you came alone.
Shut up. You human?
What?
Is this man human?
No, I don't think so, not anymore.
Right. What does it do?
It feels like he makes you vertigo, like you're falling.
Has he killed people?
Yes, a few, I think.
Does he need to see you to do it? Does he need to speak?
I don't know.
Okay. Doubts he can do it in a coma. Now turn that off and help me get him in the car. Don't try to run.
What do you...
What did I say about questions? I said turn that off. This is it.
So what now? You kill us?
You think he's going to save you?
What? No.
Now, let's see the bag. One wallet, brown leather, no cash. One packet of cigarettes, silk cut. One lighter, gold, spiderweb design. One pocket knife, blunt. One set of keys to the Magnus Institute. And one tape. You sneaky little freak!
What?
You want to record this? All right, I have to destroy it anyway.
What? I didn't... Please don't shoot me. Why are you doing this? Tell me.
Stop asking questions. That's how you want it? Fine. You brought a knife, so we go through the voice box.
Daisy! Daisy, put him down.
Have you been following me, Basira?
Didn't need to. I know what
I
you're
don't
doing
know what
here.
to say!
Have you?
He didn't need to. You're not that subtle. But I always thought you just killed monsters.
I do.
Just let him go.
You don't know what he is. You don't know what it's like to have your secrets pulled out like teeth just because he asked.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't...
Shut up! Daisy!
Don't you dare look at me like I'm crazy. It got you too. Or do you think we gave him those tapes because we like handing out evidence?
What?
That's not how it happens.
No, you asked me to take a tape over to this murdering freak, and I'm all set to tear you a new one for it.
She
But then I
thinks
get
he killed the
cassette in my
guy.
hand, and suddenly all I want to do is deliver his tapes and spill my guts.
So now you kill him.
First him, then his creepy boss.
This is too far, Daisy. You know it is.
He murdered 2 people, Basira, maybe more.
He did
I've done one monster today, no reason not to do another.
I didn't kill anyone.
For God's sake, look at him.
Then who?
Jonathan's
It was
looking
Elias.
looking pathetic
Yeah?
moment.
Well, he's on my list too.
What if he asks?
What?
You reckon he can mind control people? Make them tell the truth? Why not try it on Elias?
He's got his own... He knows things. Would that work?
I don't know.
Are we teaming it up?
Daisy, this might be our only chance to find out what's going on.
Alright.
I didn't expect this!
You're still dead.
These tapes are turning on for us. Let's go.
Who? Oh. Grab a spade.
We just killed Michael Carew. Rip.
The Magnus Archives is a podcast distributed by Rusty Quill and licensed.
Quill, are we?
Distribution
Where am I?
International license. Today's episode was written by Jonathan Sims, directed by Alexander J. Neal.
What?
Subscribe, view associated material, or join our Patreon. Visit rustyquill.com.
How was this ranked on the same level as the last episode? This is insane. Okay. Okay.
Join our communities on the forum via the website or on Reddit at r/MagnusArchives.
The hell?
Thanks
Excuse
for
me.
listening.
Oh! I'm dead! I'm deceased! There's no way! whatever just happened. Jonathan Sims just got kidnapped by the police. Okay. So we just got confirmed that the reason Daisy gave a statement, despite John not thinking that she would, was because of his magic eye powers, I guess. Isn't he? Why is it in this wiki article? It says Michael does ellipses something to John, which causes a falling sensation. You could just, I don't know, there's like 1,000 other ways where you could try to describe it, but it doesn't even try. It's like something. So yeah, this guy made the rounds. He went from entity to entity. He went entity shopping. And apparently Bone Turner's tail, big shape-shifting energy. And he returned it to the library for some other poor soul to find. / have to deal with as the childhood friend comes and steals it. I don't know. Yeah, okay. That's what the book that tried to read him back is not confirmed in title. That's what I was curious about. It was a branch of the Twisting Deceit, which had perhaps foolishly taken a form from the sky, so it wasn't a friendly thing. I know, we know it's been harassing him, but like, for like a lot of his life, but I thought it was like part of the sky stuff that he worshipped, but apparently it wasn't. It's a thing. It's an imposter that took the form of the sky. How rude. The Twisting Deceit. Okay, name drop. I have never heard of that before. It seems like he encountered the Michael, the Spiral, the Michael, the other Michael. This Michael encountered the other Michael. Because it talks about how there was something that delighted in confusing his senses, which sounds like that description that Leitner gave us. Exactly, actually. And he saw endless lightning corridors. They're everywhere. Where am I going? He doesn't remember throwing himself out that window and that guy watching. So they ripped that guy, ladder man. John starts falling. Jonathan Sims, real life Johnny Sims, is very good at voice acting. Because he is very good at making Jonathan Sims sound like he's in immense fear and just absolutely terrified and having the worst time ever. And extreme sad confusion. He's very good at that. This character's too endearing. I'm gonna cry. Okay. Yeah, it's Daisy shows up. And then she says, her special murder place. Shoots Michael in the head. Yeah, she was sorting through John's stuff, and John was just there, going like, oh god. And there's the tape recorder, and he's like, I didn't hit record, what are you talking about? And he got cut off. But it's like, something is turning these tapes on for us to hear them, or something. It just likes things being on tape, whatever this thing is. Likes things being on tape. Sure, it just likes things being on tape. I don't know, it's just like that, you know. We are the eye. We're a branch of the eye. We just listen to things. I love stories like that where it's like, I know it's probably not like that, but there's stories like that where like the viewers, the audience, they're like a canon thing that's part of the universe, like in Mr. Robot or something. Yeah, John's lighter with the spiderweb design, he just keeps it. He just kept it. Like, it's like, no questions asked. Kept weird Breaking in Hope spiderweb thing. Oh, wait. It has, I guess, if it has, I don't know. Breaking in Hope seemed like they were helping the stranger, but it seemed like the web thing doesn't like the stranger, so why would Breaking in Hope give John a spiderweb lighter? I don't know what's happening. John accidentally compelling people to say things to him. It's like, John, shut up! Basira appears out of nowhere. Hi, Basira. Yeah, and apparently, well, Daisy kills monsters, apparently, and murderers just a lot, apparently. What about spooky due process for all these spooky people, you know? I want due process doesn't exist. What the heck? I thought it did. Did I? I don't know. Sketchy police are sketchy. I wonder why. But yeah. But like Daisy in this situation, I understand what she's thinking. Because John is technically, apparently, one of these people now. And one, Daisy thinks he killed 2 people. He did not. But she was like, look at him. Do you think he killed? That's so mean to Jonathan Sims. 2, she got compelled by him, and she did not like that. He's like, and I feel like that would be an awful, unsettling experience. But John had no idea. he was just like, oh, thanks for the statement. That's weird. I thought you said you didn't want to give me one. And she's left feeling utterly spooked. Rip. Daisy's kind of insane. Cool character though. We were setting up from the second episode of this season that she was gonna appear more. She was following him, apparently. Basira was also following Daisy to protect. Oh yeah, Basira talked to it was the fucking operational discretion or whatever. Daisy came and talked to like Martin or someone, and Tim. And then she was like, what? She like freaked out. She was like, operational discretion. I have to go save Jonathan Sims from dying. And then that happened. And they bury Michael. Oh yeah, Jonathan Sims is now in fucking contact with... Not contact. Jonathan Sims is literally fucking being held hostage by police officers, that's one thing. But now they're on a trip to freaking interrogate Elias. Jonathan Sims, use your superpowers. Use your spooky, scary powers on Elias, apparently. Is this allowed? Doesn't Elias also have spooky, scary powers? Is this allowed? Does this work? Is this how this works? I don't know. But holy shit. The Michael stuff was cool, like Jonathan Sims being brought back from falling, and then Michael being cool. God, Jonathan Sims is so good at sounding scared. Oof. He sounds so scared when when his life is being threatened. He sounds so scared. That I know that makes sense. That makes a good amount of sense, being scared when your life is threatened. But he's just so good at it. Like, I feel extreme amounts of sympathy whenever he's scared. It's like, oh my God, Jonathan Sims, you my heartstrings. Okay, next episode.
Hi there, Mike here, voice of Tim Stoker from the Magnus Archives.
I'm sorry,
and
voice
head
of Tim Stoker from the Magnus Archives.
Rusty Quill presents
Mag
the Magnus
92.
Archive.
Nothing beside remains.
Episode 92. Nothing beside remains.
Yeah, I abandoned my planner again, like I always do. Who is it this time? Phone not being answered. I'm gonna. I can't up the volume. Okay, I cannot up the volume. Let me check it in.
999, what's your emergency?
Police, please.
Okay.
Yes, I'm calling to report a crime in progress.
Sir, are you in any immediate personal danger?
Yes, not immediately, but I will be shortly.
Sir, where are you calling from?
Could I speak to your chief inspector, please? Tell her Elias Bouchard is calling, of the Magnus Institute.
I will. Oh, what? He knows.
Thank you.
Chief Inspector Calgary.
Ah, yes. Good afternoon. Sorry to bother you. I believe you're looking for Detective Alice Tonner.
Do you know where she is?
I do, yes. She should be here in about 15 minutes.
I'll send some officers over immediately.
That will be wonderful. Much
Oh
appreciated.
my God. He sees all. Oh, obviously, but also, I didn't know the extent of this. Your powers, man.
Statement of Barnabas Bennett, as given in a short letter to Jonah Magnus.
This is so
April
cool.
9th, 1824.
Okay, because this is so cool.
My dear Jonah.
Is the clock gonna be ticking? Is the clock gonna be ticking the entire episode? Because the clock's ticking, showing the passage of time. Because like we can feel it, like from this thing that he's waiting for Jonathan Sims to show up, and freaking. He's just waiting, like, and you can feel that he's just waiting, like he doesn't give a care. Like, who is this guy? Like. Oh my God. Okay, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Every little god person every little god thing gets the cool little person to show off how cool they are, and then apparently the eyes cool little person is Elias Bouchard. Let's go.
You must help me. If anyone is still here, it is you. I know your work brings you into contact with all sorts of fantastical terrors, so perhaps you might have it within your power to save me from this place. And it was you who warned me not to cross Mordecai Lucas. Advice that I have, I'm afraid, disregarded.
You can still
It
hear
was a small enough thing, as I believe.
the music's playing over,
trifling
but
death
you
I
can
fell
still hear
behind
the
on.
ticking.
And when he met me in that garden, quiet as it is always with him, he demanded repayment. Well, I took it poorly and laughed at his insistence. Bring it before the courts, I told him. After all, what judge would find in his favour over mine? He simply regarded me silently for many minutes, staring with such a cast to his face that I could feel my resolution beginning to falter. You shall pay me, he he said at last, in kind. Then he walked away. Let me tell you, Jonah, I believed myself profoundly lucky that day as my hansom deposited me on the steps of my townhouse, a mood only slightly shaken by the impression that as the cab pulled away, it seemed to have no driver that I could discern. I am lucky, Jonah, but only insofar as that I never married, never fathered children, never let anyone get closer than my brother. The pangs of loneliness I feel are no more acute than my general longing for the company of my fellow man. I have no one whose absence truly pains me. And yet here, in this empty world, I cannot but spend these nights, these dreadful silent nights, huddled and frozen in some terrible fear I find myself unable to name. I almost think I hear the mocking joy of my friends, but there is nobody here and never shall be again. I try to read, to lose myself in something that is not the absence of humanity. How is it that the books speak to me of my isolation more acutely than the silence? For every treatise I read on this world and its workings, the more I know I am to spend my time left in it without comfort or reprieve. With every tale of love or society, I feel more keenly the absence of both. I went to Egypt once with the Royal Society, to the temple of Ramses II in Abu Simbel. The place was remarkable, of course, but what sticks so keenly in my mind is the journey. 2 days earlier, on the road from Aswan, I found myself separated from my fellow travellers. I do not know how it happened, but I spent 2 hours alone there, under the blazing sun, staring across the vast, empty expanses of that ancient country. I revelled in the silence then, embraced the loneliness like an old friend, but now that friend has devoured.
I'm sorry, this is completely unrelated, but my political science class just mentioned the panopticon. Not like a physical prison panopticon, but like a concept called the panopticon, which is about citizens controlling each other, probably based on like being able to see each other or something. But it's called the panopticon, and I know there's an episode in this series called the fucking panopticon, and I'm like, what the hell? Okay, it's a cool concept. I like panopticon imagery, and so does Twitter, so...
And I shall not emerge from
Sorry.
its doors.
I'm sorry, Sebastian. No, wait,
help.
no, wrong one.
And you must help me,
I'm
Jonah.
sorry.
If anyone knows of
why
what
is it
might
not
break me
scrolling
from this
down?
dreadful place, it is you.
I'm sorry, Barnabas
I know
Bennett.
that what is done by those I cannot see might be felt here. I have found glasses broken and pages torn that were not so the night before. It is my hope that if I leave a letter here in your institute, you might find it. You might be able to save me. I have no other hope. Please, Jonah, if you have any compassion within your heart, you will not leave me in this place. Your loyal servant, Barnabas. Jonah Magnus did leave him in that place, John. He got the letter. Oh, yes,
John.
and was on good terms.
Oh,
with
you're
Lord
leaving the
Lucas.
tapes for him.
He could
Oh
have
yeah, I
succeeded,
forgot
as
about
you
that. When he was being interviewed by Daisy, he said leave the tape on. John will want to hear it when he gets back. He's leaving the tapes for John. Just like he's sending him the
It was not out of
files.
malice, or because he lacked affection for Barnabas Bennett. He retrieved those bones sadly enough when the time came. Bones that you can still find in my office, if you know where to look. No, it was because he was curious, because he had to know, to watch and see it all. That's what this place is, John. Never forget it. You may believe yourself to have friends, to have confidants, but in the end, all they are is something for you to watch, to know, and ultimately to discard.
Oh my God.
This, at least, Gertrude understood. Let us begin.
Sorry to interrupt. John's here, and he seems angry. I actually think he's brought a Bouchard. Easy.
Hello, Elias.
Goodness, John. Whatever happened to your hand? Your neck?
That one was me.
You look a mess.
I've had a hell of a week.
Would you be so good as to fetch Melanie and Tim? I think it would be worth their time to be here.
Oh yeah, hi Melanie, you're still here.
Okay, I'll just...
You're still here, and you're a spy, and you're gonna watch John do something.
Okay,
At least try to.
John, do you want to get this on tape?
No need, Basira. I've already got one running. Now, you have something to ask me?
Go for it before I strangle the grinning bastard.
Elias, did you kill Gertrude Robinson and Leitner?
quite nice, actually. Tingly, but sort of freeing. You know, even Gertrude never properly tried to compel me. I always wondered.
Just answer the question.
Oh, don't.
So cool.
Oh, no need to worry about that. I just feel it's only fair to wait for your colleagues, John. They'll want to hear this too. It's also very important to me in a personal capacity that you understand I'm answering you of my own free will.
I don't care.
I know, but I do. There's so much of this place and of ourselves twisted by forces far beyond us. I just wanted you to know.
Okay, so I've got everyone, but I'm honestly kind of
Yeah,
lost as to what's happening.
Oh, Christ, what is it now?
Yes, same question, please.
Elias here is about to confess his crimes.
What?
Good.
Tim says
Yes,
what?
I was just saying to John, it's very important to me that you understand that no action I have taken has been controlled. I have done everything because I wished to.
Get
Oh,
to
great.
the point.
I mean, incriminate yourself further, please.
Of course. Detective. So, for the avoidance of any doubt, I killed Gertrude Robinson because she intended to destroy the archives, and I killed Jürgen Leitner because he was an unnecessary complication, likely to tell John too much too early.
Why does he? Why? When does he get stuff?
Oh, no.
Sorry. That guy was Jürgen Light.
Daisy,
Let
where
me
do I
know.
that name from? The Yusuf case, an introduction to higher anatomy. Oh. Oh, God. You killed him. You sure shouldn't be giving him a medal.
Very sure. And Sasha? Did you kill her too?
Sasha died almost a year ago, Martin.
What?
Oh, God.
When Prentice attacked something else, it replaced her. I still don't know how, but
God damn it, this is...
Rip Tim.
Sasha.
He's been trying to stay sane.
The thing you remember as Sasha was nothing like her. It toyed with your memory. If I showed you a picture of the real Sasha now, you'd have no idea who it was.
So that thing we saw.
Precisely. It finally tried to kill John, then Leitner killed it, then I killed Leitner. And I believe that brings us up to date, more or less.
what about Michael?
What about him? An irritant. Interfering because he's bored and he resents us.
Right.
Like, he was so matter of factly.
Everyone get back.
What?
Daisy, wait. Out the way.
Now, hang
In
hang
front of
on.
everyone?
I thought you were about
Get
to arrest
out
him.
the way.
John, do something!
Phone?
Don't.
Excuse me. Yes?
Elias, there's some police officers here to see you.
Yes. Thank you, Rosie. Could you ask them to
Rosie,
wait?
yeah, we put about the like, lady at the front.
That should make it even easier for you, my detective. I know you were planning to kill me, but surely an arrest is a consolation prize.
Daisy.
Oh, didn't she tell you why she hadn't gone back to the station? Allow me. She rightly suspected that I held evidence of various murders she had committed, and that I sent this to her superiors. She's quite the killer, your partner. All in the public good, of course. And she was correct. I spent some time acquiring that evidence, or creating it. And while your superiors don't much care about
This
it,
one's insane.
there is proof.
In the cool way.
Happy. And they want you brought in.
So, I kill you and go to jail. I'll take that deal.
For someone who used to be a detective, you're remarkably reluctant to think things through. You think you're the only police officer eager to do violence and call it justice. No. There are plenty of other rabid dogs out there, mad with the hunt, and some of them have signed a Section 31. There are plenty of others your superiors can call on to clean up this mess.
They wouldn't. Yeah, they would.
And anyone close enough to be implicated, they will kill Basira.
Okay, wait. That's the police that you're talking about, okay? They wouldn't.
I'm sorry, Martin.
Would they?
I'm sorry, Basira.
I'm so sorry, Martin. You have
The
to.
officers down there take you away. But perhaps I was wrong when I called them. Maybe it was a false alarm.
What do you want?
Collateral.
That... What?
A contract of employment for Basira.
What?
Sign it, and I'll send your ex-colleagues on their way.
Basira.
And no one can quit.
There.
False alarm, Rosie. Could you apologise to the officers for me and thank them for their time?
Oh, all right.
So, What? You're her boss now? Is that supposed to stop me?
Yes.
I mean, she's still got a gun.
Of course. Sometimes I forget how new you all are to this. Basira is now tied to the Institute. All of you are. Like fingers on a hand, and I am the beating heart of it. Should I, or the Institute be destroyed, you will all, unfortunately, follow suit.
Wait, what?
Yep, that sounds about right.
And it would not be a pleasant death.
Bullshit.
Then shoot me. Just squeeze the trigger and watch the only person you care about die screaming. Your last connection to humanity.
Basira? Dang.
Daisy.
You still have a relationship, it seems. I knew they were partners,
What do
but I
you
didn't
want?
know how
At
close
least
they
I'm
were.
not the only ones who can find a use for your violence. I'm sure there'll be plenty here for you to do. Feel free to go where you like in the meantime. I'll be in touch.
You piece of...
Daisy, it's okay. We'll figure something out.
This is insane.
You get used to it.
Now that's taken care of, if you'll all
Tim's
give me a
really
moment alone,
here.
we actually have some things to discuss.
Yeah.
Come on.
We're being held hostage. This description is interesting to me. Elias is the
Come on,
heart.
John. There's really no need for the scowl.
What do you want?
Honestly, to offer some congratulations. You're doing a lot better than I expected.
Feels like all I've managed to do is not die.
Believe me, that is a remarkably rare skill.
I'm not getting any answers out of this, am I?
The easily digestible sort that wipe away any doubt and fear and neatly organize your new world into happy little columns.
Dang, man, you didn't have to.
Not from me. These are things you must discover on your own.
Why?
Yeah, why? For real,
What
for
are
real.
you?
The archivist.
Precisely. It is your job to chronicle these things, to experience them, whether firsthand or through the eyes of others. To simply be told,
When you become
Please,
people.
your master.
our Master John.
I never chose this.
You
True.
never wanted this, no. But I'm afraid
But
you
you chose it?
absolutely did choose it. In 100
How?
ways, at 100 thresholds, you pressed on. You sought knowledge relentlessly, and you always chose to see. Our world is made of choices, John, and very rarely do we truly know what any of them mean. But we make them nonetheless.
Thinking about childhood, Jonathan
So,
Sims.
You were doing fine before you forced this little scene. I suggest you continue.
So it was you sending me the statements.
A little bit
Obviously.
of direction never hurt anybody, so to speak.
Directed towards what?
The unknowing.
Indeed. Yeah,
I
well,
need
he
you to
didn't
stop
know
it.
that.
Again with
Why does he
is
just
the
need to stop
unknowing?
it? How does he do anything about it?
Ritual. The stranger and its kin attempting to gather power enough to bring it closer.
They're trying to summon it?
Not exactly. These things that touch us, they don't have a form of the sort that could exist in physical reality, so the stranger wishes to remake that physical reality into something closer to itself. It wants to make this world its own.
And how do I stop it?
That is what you need to find out.
No,
Interesting.
you are not doing that. I know you have Gertrude's notes, her files. She was working on a way to stop this. Not to mention, that apparently you can effortlessly see anything at any time.
Yeah.
Hardly effort.
John really-
Well, I
oh.
take your point.
So obviously you know how to stop it. You could
So with
just
some
tell
effort?
me.
I could. But I believe that if I did so, you would fail. The stranger is antithetical to us.
How so?
We thrive on ceaseless watching, on knowing too much. What
He
we
knows he
face
thrives
is
on
the
knowing
hidden,
nothing.
The uncanny and the unknown. If you were to stop them, you need to get better at seeing. And my explaining things is simply not enough.
And you can't just give me
By
all the
seeing things.
John, even when you had all of them at your disposal, you barely got through one statement a week. Why do you think that is? It takes its toll on you. And I know you have had problems with moderation.
So it's back to breadcrumbs and statements and risking my life talking to things that barely remember how to be human anymore.
For now, I'll be in touch. Anything else?
Am I? Elias, am I still human?
John, what does human even mean? I mean, really,
Right.
you still bleed, can still die. And your will is still your own, mostly.
Mostly.
All that can be said for a lot of the real humans out there.
Dang, okay.
You're worried about ending up like that thing lurking in the dirt under the streets of Alexandria. Don't be. Just do what you need to do and you'll be fine. Understood?
What happened to that thing in Alexandria?
Good. Well, I have work to be getting on with. I'll send you a return to work form, but don't worry about the doctor's note. Now, if there's nothing else, right.
This man really blackmailed everyone just by existing.
The Magnus
He just said
Archives is a podcast
wacky wacky.
distributed by Rusty Quill and licensed under a Creative Commons
I'm the heart of
Attribution
this
Non-Commercial
place.
Share Alike 4.0
I'm
international
going
license.
insane. That was so cool.
Today's episode was written by Jonathan Sims and directed by Alexander J. Newell. To subscribe, view associated material, or join our Patreon, visit rustyquill.com.
That was so cool.
Rate and review us online, tweet us at The Rusty Quill, visit us on Facebook, or email us at mail@rustyquill.com. Join our communities on the forum via the website or on Reddit at r/the Magnus Archives. Thanks for listening.
What do I do with this? What do I do with this? Oh my god. What do I do with this? Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me recap this with my mind alone, because I was listening to oh wait, no, I want to reread whatever was going on in that freaking statement, because I'm going insane, and I'm bad at that. I'm reading the summary. Give me a minute. Oh yeah, it was very short. It was just this guy asking help. After getting involved with Lucas, apparently, and we know that guy exists and is funding the Institute in some way. Addresses Jonathan Sims directly. He literally freaking just talked to John and this freaking go. I'm going to say. Okay. So Magnus watched what happened, even though he wasn't there, because he's got eye powers. You know? Mario Martin coming in. It's like, John's back! And he brought some police officers. And they bust in. He's like, did you kill Mr. Robinson? Oh my god. Oh my god. Imagine that trio walking in here, just busting in here and going like, did you kill Oh my god. Elias really had to clarify. He was like, I did all of this by myself, by the way. You know, I did all of this willingly, just cause. And I'm like, thanks? I mean, he said, like, from a personal standpoint, he wanted John to know that. This had just nothing to do with anything. He just relationship-wise, he was like, I want you to know that I did this all of my free will. I'm like, okay. John, because that would be a thing I wondered too. If someone was trying to kill me because they view me as inhuman, I would also question my humanity. You know, why? I hate whatever this is. The fucking ads showing up. Okay. Oh oh my god, I don't know what else to say. There was a bunch of stuff happened, but like I don't know how to discuss it. That was a cool lot of stuff. We finally got a confrontation. I liked season 2, but you know, it took a while to confront the thing that was staring at us in our face the whole time, you know. And Melanie was there, and it's like, what's it Lightner again? Oh yeah, but it's like, that was Lightner? And Melanie's like, Lightner? Who's Lightner? And they're like, wait, higher anatomy. What the frick? Was that like, is that like a case? Or is that like a thing that they have to learn? It's called Lightner for telling John too much too soon. So apparently, okay, the way that he phrased it, it was like, you can only get through like a statement a week. You need to be able to see better. like see. That's interesting. The Stranger is all about, well, I guess it makes sense why it's called the Unknowing then, and this thing is called the Beholding, or the Eye, other thing. It's like, it's the opposite of us. We're antithetical, as he said. Elias does not like Michael, but not in like an enemy way, just like a Michael way. Because, ooh, it all draws back to the way I really love how he got this all set up with Michael in that Michael statement. It really made the floodgates open. It's when Michael described himself as just like, and also Jürgen Leitner expanded on it, like, these things are the fingers of, these things are the acting fingers of these entities, which are out on the outer edges of the universe, and the things that touch us are the fingers, the limbs, and just like how Michael at first, the hint of this is that he described himself as, what did he say? He described himself as the hand to like a stomach, like the stomach being the corridors and him being a hand, like. It's cool. It's cool. And Elias described himself as the heart. And if he died, everyone connected to the Institute dies. It's interesting. We're blackmailing police officers. I mean, they basically did that in John. Now I just have to threaten someone back. Ah! John really puts himself in, I need to mention this again. John really puts himself in danger. Like, he doesn't care. Like, he really doesn't care. He just goes to things that try to kill him. Like he said in this episode, I'm just gonna go and interview things that are trying to kill me. Just cause. Like, he doesn't give a care. His hand is permanently scarred now, basically. Like, I'm assuming, it seems very much so that his hand is permanently scarred, and he's just walking around. And I'm like, to the next guy I go. It's like, oh my god, John. Elias was like, your mind's your own, basically. Mostly, for the most part. You are feeling like compelled yourself to record things and record statements and take statements just all the time. Ooh, Elias also talked about how you didn't you didn't want this, but you did choose this. I'm gonna show you that. Like, throughout your entire life, in a way you don't even understand, you chose this by opening your eyes to knowledge. And what that like brings me all the way back to the episode I wish recorded. Okay, to the Mr. Spider episode, which is really good. Like the characterization of Child John, like always being like always wanting different perspectives, always wanting a different voice in the stories he read, and always wanting more and never being satisfied by it. Like, it's kind of like these people like Michael Crew and like I guess Jude Perry. I don't remember exactly what Jude Perry's like whole backstory was, but I remember like Michael Crew, like he got hit by lightning because it was fucking last episode and I just fucking watched it. he he got struck by lightning, and then like for most when he was 8, and like for like all of his life it built and built like this feeling, you know. But for John it was like, you know, yeah, the more I think about it, the more like how much that fits. Like when, like the fact that like he could never read what like 2 books of the same author because it bored him. Like he didn't like hearing this, and like the more I describe it that way, the more it makes sense, because he described it as I just couldn't read the same authors. They sounded too similar for some reason, and like that's called voice. That's called author's voice, and it's called he couldn't, you know, he always was always looking for different voices. Like, and by voices I don't mean like there's like voices, you know, like when people talk about representation and stuff, they talk about voices and like Asian voices and black voices, but it's like different perspectives. When I say voice, it's like he's looking for different people. He's looking for different minds. Like that's like that's it was like that's a cool. They set this up well. They set this up great. This is cool. That's insane. So yeah, the more the more you think about it, the more this kind of lines up with, I guess that's how these entities choose people, I guess, or they choose the entities. I guess that's more in line with what we've been saying so far, that these people choose these entities because they align with them over time, but just John did it like subconsciously, I guess. Unless we're getting another Jonathan Sims backstory episode, which I would not be opposed to. Okay, you know, give me more Jonathan Sims backstory. Yeah, there's a lot. Oh yeah, we have to frickin' always get sidetracked talking about other stuff. Jonathan Sims needs to build his fucking seeing shit. Like, it's all but confirmed by now that people, when they read statements, they're literally like, they're like in their mind, like that's why whenever someone that's a cool thing. I love it when stories do that. They have in-universe reasons for like things like that could just be attributed to like the storytelling medium, or like meta stuff, or just like writing, or like delivery wise, or like production wise. It could just be like production stuff, like just for storytelling's sake, but they give them in-universe reasons. That's my shit. I love stuff like that where they give like a freaking meta it's just like you know, meta aspects to the story. I'll give it in-universe reasoning, so it's like yes. The way like when they read a statement, they like become that thing. So that's basically what John's doing. He's seeing into people's minds, basically, into different people's voices, into their perspectives, and he needs to be better at that, apparently, to stop the fucking mannequin man from rewriting the universe. Jonathan Sims saves the world. Hi, Jonathan Sims. You have to you're that type of protagonist now. You're not the everyman listening to statements anymore in this wacky horror setting. You don't need to save the world. For real, for real. Dang. I didn't know. We've never actually had an example of something like this where, like, there's someone there's one being, and if it dies, everything else dies. That's also very inconvenient. That's very good for, that's very convenient for blackmail purposes, but for like all other purposes, couldn't like one of the strangest people walk into this room and stab Elias right now, and like nothing would happen. Like, I guess because he knows everything, he's able to avoid this stuff. Like, he can see all this, all the time. Apparently not very easily, according to him. But apparently, he can just... If they kill him, the whole lot goes down, which seems very inconvenient. I guess this guy has a lot on his shoulders. God-following wise. John's been doing a good job. It would not please the master if John just got told things. He has to figure things out by looking in people's heads. We have to feed the thing or it feeds on you. I like that quote. I will remember that quote. I just like it for some reason. He needs to be able to stop the ritual with his magic powers. Let's go. What the heck happened to that thing in Alexandria, which had like an eye on its face or whatever? And then Elias welcomes John back to it. I want to hear that again, the way he described the unknowing.
It's this. You never wanted this.
Our voice acting is so
I'm afraid
good.
you absolutely did choose it. In 100 ways, at 100 thresholds, you pressed on.
What do you want?
The police are not the only ones who can find no need for the scout.
What do you want?
Honestly, to offer some congratulations. You're doing a lot better than I expected.
You're so... This man. I love characters like this. They're just so... Them being so assured and confident. It's like terrifying. I love it.
These are things you must discover on your own.
Why?
To simply be told,
Well, it doesn't please your master.
armor,
So what now?
you were doing fine before you forced this little scene. I suggest you continue.
Again with... What is the unknowing, exactly?
A ritual. The stranger and its kin attempting to gather power enough to bring it closer.
Oh yeah, it said they're trying to rewrite the world so this stranger can exist in it, like for real, like so it's like a universe where it can exist. Interesting.
Summon it?
Not exactly. These things that touch us, they don't have a form of the sort that could exist in physical reality, so the stranger wishes to remake that physical reality into something closer to itself. It wants to make this world its own.
And how do I stop it?
That is what you need to find out.
No, you are not doing that. I know you have Gertrude's notes, her files. She was working on a way to stop this. Not to mention that apparently you can effortlessly see anything at any time.
Hardly effortlessly, but I take your point.
So
Elias has a
obviously
hard
you know how
time.
to stop it. You could just tell me.
I could. But I believe that if I did so, you would fail. The stranger is antithetical to us. We thrive on ceaseless watching, on knowing too much. What we
Knowing
face
too
is
much.
the hidden, the uncanny, and the unknown.
The
If you were to
hidden,
stop
the
them-
uncanny, and the unknown. I like these descriptions. I latch onto these descriptions and I need to like assign them to things. The hidden, the uncanny, and the unknown. Things that linger in the dark. The things that are mysterious to us, like the uncanny, which I need to connect this idea with uncanny and like the unknown. Because uncanny, it feels like something that's like, you know, not quite correct, not quite right, not quite human, not quite alive. But also the unknown. I guess the idea of what makes the uncanny like uncanny is that you don't know, like it's not. I don't know how to describe this. It's not. Is that it feels unfamiliar, like you don't know it, like it could be familiar, but it's not, you know. I guess that is the same as not knowing. The stranger, it seems like, is things. Yeah, it's the unfamiliar made wrong. That's what Lighter described it as. Let me look up the definition of uncanny. Strange or mysterious in an unsettling way. I guess I'm talking about the uncanny valley specifically, and that's like a bunch of stuff that the stranger deals with, like mannequins and like stuffity mannequins. More mannequins. Strange or mysterious. That makes sense compared with like the mysterious stuff, the unknown stuff. That's just matches exactly. But I'm thinking about like how much the stranger deals and stuff like that. The familiarity and like twisting it and stuff. I guess that is the same. Being unfamiliar with something is the same as being unknown. But like, I guess when I think of Uncanny Valley, I think of it in the way that the things that are known are now like not just unknown but wrong, I guess, and that's like feels slightly different. I don't know. Okay, but this episode was super cool. A bunch of shit that's just happened. We got the confrontation in like the middle of the season, which is great. Which things are speeding up plot wise, and now John has to save the world basically by being good at his job. Everyone's being held hostage. Tim is rip Tim. Melanie is here. Rip Melanie. Martin is everyone's now being made aware of all the bad things. These police officers that are probably in love. I'm just saying. What's the age difference? I don't know. I know Daisy seems to be implied to be somewhat older, but I don't know. But they cared about each other. Their only grasp on humanity. How tropey of them. Daisy really was just gonna kill John. She killed Michael Crew? For real? That man was... We've been hearing about that man for forever. Dang. He was so cool, too. He started out the episode by offering tea and went to like... He's like... I guess you want the bad guy. He was chilling out. He's like, geez, if you want to be so rude, then like... Hannibal Lecter vibes, kind of. Dang. Michael Crew, he's like a pleasant guy at first, I guess. So yeah, that guy who got trapped at the top and saw it with the pictures of the ladder, who's afraid of heights. I want a more concrete description of the vast in words, you know. I get the feeling, like I'm pretty sure all the Simon Fairchild stuff is the vast. 'Cause just like I know the definition of vast. Okay, let me be honest with you. Literally the moment I listened to the Freefall episode, I'm like, that's the vast. I'm like, that's the vast. I know what vast means. I was sitting in my bed right here, listening to it with my eyes closed, picturing a completely blank blue void, and I'm like, how else am I supposed to describe that? That's vast. That's the definition of vast. He's literally in a vast open space. And I'm like, that's the vast. I'm like, hi vast. And like every time Simon Fairchild pops up, it's like the vast. And like I guess I feel the feeling, you know, of vastness, you know, heights, empty space everywhere. empty space down, not knowing where the ground is. Ladders, infinite ladders. Makes sense. Interesting. Yeah, this is very cool. I like the whole like. I like them. I like these entities being pit against each other. I love that we're involved. We're like the followers of one of them. I love it. I love it. I love this show. I love all the lore. Thank you, Rusty Quill. Thank you, Jonathan Sims. This is great. Signing off into the next dimension. It's fucking 1 a.m. I need to be asleep right now.